works. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to this window. So, welcome. This is chair yoga for fall prevention. You'll need a yoga block, a strap, a chair, maybe 2 chairs, and we'll get started. I'm going to stand up, move out of the way. Just now I'm going to come back up to the front of the camera during the guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice, and maybe a little bit of energy work depending on our timing. So, yay! We're starting at 3 minutes after the hour. We try to get about 60 minutes in. If you need to leave early, just be sure to hit that, survey, that pain and distress survey. So your options are, you can be seated on the chair. Now, if you are seated on the chair, you're going to scooch forward a little bit so that you can engage those tall posture muscles. Or you can be standing between 2 chairs or standing beside a chair. So I'm kind of moving my 2 chairs forward a little bit. And we're going to get started. So in Veterans Yoga Project, we do breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice. Our meditation typically is we're breathing while we're moving while we're breathing, so we kind of connect with the body, with the mind, and we do a little bit of that guided rest, relaxation at the end. So I invite you, whether you're seated, whether you're standing today, have the feet be parallel. They look like number 11s going on here, and let's just go ahead and roll those shoulders back, and we'll shimmy those shoulders down a little bit. Hands can face the body or forward, whatever's kind of more natural for you at this moment. And then I invite you to place your hands below your belly button and then one hand above that. Again, relax those shoulders down. We're going to start with the breath. So I invite you to breathe in, and in the breathing that I teach, it's lower dantian, which is a Tai Chi word for lower belly breathing. This helps promote better cerebral spinal fluid flow, lower the blood pressure, lower the heart rate. Soft bend in the knees, don't lock those knees. So I invite you to breathe in, expand the belly. Now the chest is going to expand also, just know that. And then as you exhale, draw that belly button towards your spine. And again, in through the nose, out through the nose if you can today. And exhaling. Again, breathe in nice and slow. And exhaling. Once again, breathe in, belly big, and exhaling. One more time, breathe in, belly big, and exhale. Again, welcome to chair yoga for fall prevention. This is a chair yoga where we use the chair as a piece of gear. You can do this part of this seated or standing. Today I'm starting out standing. So let's just go ahead and shake the hands and bend the knees at the same time. So we're kind of working all the major joints in the body before we kind of get to that workout part. So it's like a traditional aerobics class back in the day. Your warm up, your workout, your cool down. We're going old school. And then from here, let's spin the wrists. Again, you can kind of bounce the knees a little bit. Make sure it's the wrist, not the entire arm, okay? And then let's reverse that, go the other way. My brain's kind of going, whoa, reverse. This feels strange in the body, strange in the mind. And then let's cup the hands and throw them down and back. Again, a little bend in the knees while we do this. Lubricating those knees, those hip joints, those elbows, those shoulders a little bit. Maybe one shoulder is a little spicy compared to the other. Just do what you can, okay, with what you got. Now, if you can, tap the shoulders and bring it back on down. So add a tap of the upper body, or maybe it's a fake tap. That works too. Now from here, let's just kind of alternate the shoulder swings. So you may, again, kind of notice left side is a little different than right side. Now, you folks seated in the chair, make sure you're not hitting the side of the chair, all right? Everybody seated in the chair, keep doing this movement. Those of us standing, and I got to move out of the way from the chair, out and across, and a little bend in the knees. Little upper body twist going on here. Again, keep it between the easy and the ouch. I got a lot of snap, crackle, pops happening right now. One more. and then one more, and then just kind of make it kind of be a little bit less. All right, from here I'm going to back up a little bit. Seated cat-cow. So standing cat-cow, the way we do that is we interlace the fingers here in front of our belly, and then we press the hands away, and as we press the hands away, we curve the spine to the back of the room. So you have this little cat back going on, okay? And then from here, be nice and tall. Bring it here to where at the top of the head. Press the hands away. Try to have the arms straight if you can. And then if it's available, let's press it sky high. Ooh. Notice what you notice. Release the hands, make fists. Let's place the fists on the back of the hips for standing back bend. So press your hips forward, your chest kind of presses towards where the wall meets the ceiling. And you bring those elbows in a little bit. Now I'm keeping my eyes and my ears aligned with my spine. I'm not dropping my head back too much. And then let's go back. Go back to interlacing the fingers. Again, push the hands away, curve the spine to the back of the room, bend the knees, bend the knees. And then stand up tall, bring it here to the top of the head. That might be where you're stopping. Just know that, okay? You can stop here, or maybe you can press them towards the ceiling. Again, do what you can with what you got today. Release the hands and then make fists. Place them on the top part of your behind, or your top part of your behind. Press your hips forward, your chest to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then squeeze those shoulders. Beautiful. Excellent. And then come back to nice and standing. So for this seated one, it's the same thing. You're going to step touch. So step touch. This lateral movement is very integral in helping you prevent falls, because we're working a particular muscle when we do this. You can be back behind a chair doing this if you like. And some of us that have knee issues may notice some spicy stuff going on when we do lateral movement. You might want to go get that checked out, all right? Now, if you can, if it's available, maybe you can also wave the arms in the air. Maybe not. Again, maybe you're doing one, you're hanging onto the chair, doing one, maybe you switch over and do the other. Again, we're concerned about safety, so you're going to do what's best for you and your situation. Two more, 2 and 1. So from here, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And once we get up to the top, exhale, float the arms down. I'm not concerned that you can't see my hands. You know what's going on. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up once again. And exhaling. Let's do a little bit more cat-cow with that spinal cord breathing. So kind of like we did when we swung the arms, we cup the hands. We cup the hands here in front, whether you're seated or standing, soft bend in the knees. And let's inhale, elbows up. And then exhale, curve the spine, bend the knees. And I'll show this sideways so you can see what's going on. Inhale, elbows up, 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 up. And then exhale, bend the knees, curve the spine to the back of the room. This time, let's turn to the side. Inhale, elbows out to the side. A little twist. Exhaling back to the center. Again, other side. Inhale, elbows up. Woo! Exhale back to the center. Let's do one more to the center. And again, inhaling, elbows up, 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 up. And back to the center. From here, let's stand up. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then float those arms down. Beautiful. So next is our Qigong detoxing that we do. It's called the Big Six. I'll come up to the camera a little bit. So you're going to find your collarbone. You're going to spread your hands out. Your hands are going to be above and below the collarbone. And you can tap across from the shoulder to the center of your body, or you can stroke it across. So this is to increase cerebral spinal fluid flow, lymphatic drainage. Let's do the other side. Again, kind of find where you're going to start and drag it across or tap. The next part is to, again, spread out the hands, and you can place it here in front and in back of your ear. Drag it down the side of the neck and the side of the jawline. Make sure you're getting back here in the back of the head too, okay? Because we've got a lot of lymph node nests hanging out here, about 70% of our lymph nodes are from the collarbone up. Now I like to do one side at a time. That way I'm not messing with my cartoid on both sides at a time, but some folks like to do two hands at a time. Me, not so much. Let's do the other side again. Spread them out, fingers in front and back of the ears, and drag it down the jawline and then down the neckline. Again, we're not like, making marks on ourselves, but we are, causing, friction, fingers against skin, a little friction going on here, just a little bit. Okay, very good. So we're going to add something to our big six. We're going to do the thymus thump. So from your collarbone, go down about 2 inches and start thumping your thymus. Now I do the middle 2 fingers when I do this, because sometimes I do this too vigorous. So if you're over the age of 30, you probably start to find a decline in your T cell production to help, your immunity. So we're stimulating the thymus gland by thumping it. You can do both if you like. It's like playing the drums on your sternum. Notice if it feels tender, okay? Just notice if you notice that. Might be an indication of maybe you've got some inflammation going on in your body, yeah? So we got the thumping of the thymus. Now next we're going to go to the armpit. So I do this little right angle with my hand to start out with. Place it into my armpit. That thumb is right here at that pectoral or the atypical node. And we press in and squeeze, or what some folks, they like to pat. But I want you to also think about, you do the front of the chest in addition to your armpit. So men and women that get breast cancer, this is the areas they check. Did the cancer move to these particular lymph node nests? So we're just kind of clearing them up, okay? The only way to move lymphatic fluid in the body is movement, as opposed to the heart, pumps the blood. And we have more lymphatic fluid in our bodies than we do blood, by the way. Let's do the other side. So here we go. You can start kind of easy peasy, just pressing softly, squeezing. Or if you want to add a little, if you want to punch it, do a little fist. Soft little tapping. Mine makes a noise. I know people are going, oh, we dug into our armpits when we did Gail's class. Yes, you did. All right, next one. So your torso, your stomach is considered to be your second brain in your body, according to traditional Chinese medicine. So you can take your hands and just kind of, or fists. What I like to do is I go up here right underneath the ribs where that diaphragm is, and I kind of push in and pull it across. So, that diaphragm is kind of like stuck up in underneath there, and I just give it a little massage. Then I do my chopping or my, movement. You can also go in circles. I typically, when I do circles to promote digestion and elimination, I go from the top over to the left and make the circle go in that direction. I kind of mess up my clothes when I do that, but that's okay. All right, if you're seated, you're going to bring your feet wide. If you're standing, you're going to bring your feet wide. So where your leg inserts into your torso, you have this little crease going on. It's called a glenoid crease. It's hard for me to say. You take the sides of the hands and you chop with, we call in Tai Chi, you chop the qua. You chop the crease. So again, men that get prostate cancer, women that get uterine or ovarian cancer, these are the areas they check. Okay, did the cancer move to these lymph node nests? So this is something maybe you can do every day to, again, promote lymphatic drainage. All right, the next one. This one's usually easier to do seated in the chair, but I'm going to do this standing today. Feet a little bit wider than normal, and I'm going to bend my knees. And first, I'm going to clap my hands and create some heat here in the palms. Oh yeah. And I'm going to kind of bend, do my little squat here, and put the heat onto my knees. Be sweet, be kind, okay? Then come up on the pads of the fingers, stimulate those acupressure points around the knees. And for lessening knee pain, we take the palm of the hand, tap, tap, tap the outside, that's your gallbladder meridian. And again, with that little right angle of the hand, you can kind of go back here at the back of the knee. You got swelling in the feet, the ankles, work the back of the knee before you work whatever you do with the feet. But you try to do the big 6 in the order to have a more effective lymphatic drainage. All right, now we're going to come up, and whether you're seated, whether you're standing, I'm going to hang onto my chair here. We're going to do point and flex of the foot. Let's see. You see that in the camera? There you go. Okay. So again, the pumping of the calf is considered to be blood glucose lowering technique, lowering your blood sugars. Then again, pumping the calf is also considered to be the second heart in traditional Chinese medicine. So again, opportunity to bring that lymphatic flow, the blood back to the collarbone, the lowest pressure in the body. And then as you're looking at your foot, you're going to be still, and you're going to draw a circle inward, ankle circles. Ooh. Again, sometimes we have very, very stiff toes, stiff feet, and that causes us to shuffle instead of heel ball toe type of walking. And reverse, other direction. And when I go the other direction, it's always like a different shape than that original direction. It just seems to be that way, yeah? Whoops, losing my balance. Yakking, yeah, there you go. All right, ooh, snap, crackle, pop. Now I'm going to do the other one. I'm just gonna go over to the other chair, point and flex. Ooh, any snap, crackle, pops going on with y'all? Probably, right? Or maybe you're feeling, is it stiff on the top of the foot? Do you feel that calf contracting? Do you feel your shin muscles and in the front part of your legs? Notice what you notice. Does one feel a little different than the other side? So for yoga and Tai Chi, it's great for increasing your body awareness, because a lot of us are not aware of things going on with our body. And then pause, and let's draw a circle inward. Now y'all keep drawing the circle inward. I noticed my shoelace was coming untied, so I'm going to retie that as you all are doing those circles. So don't mind me. Again, just trying to keep safe here. Don't want to be tripping over my own shoes and embarrassing myself, yeah? Well, maybe y'all want me to be embarrassed. I don't know. Did we do reverse yet? If not, let's do reverse. I got distracted by my shoelace there. Very good. And then come back to the center. Let's have the feet a little wide, again, away from the back of the chair. Shake the legs, oxygenate the blood in our body, in that lower body. I like this part. And then from here, just kind of march in place. You can hang onto your chair or hands on your hips if that works too. So what we'll do before we get to the work portion of our class, we're going to assess our balance, okay? So let's come over to one of our chairs. Now, if you're seated, your version of Golden Rooster is to come away from the back of the chair, lift that knee, opposite arm up. You're going to notice what's going on with that hip musculature. Now, for those of us standing, we turn our toes towards the corner of the chair. We're about a half a foot, maybe a little bit more away from the chair. Then we're going to bend both knees, rooting down. Very good. And then you take your tailbone, you tuck it under, so you kind of like push your pelvis, kind of like a little Michael Jackson move, okay? Hand on the chair, belly button tight, bend the elbow up, bring the leg up, and point the toe down. So you're going to notice, okay, what's going on here? Can you do this without the hand on the chair? Or how much of the hand do you have to be gripping to do Golden Rooster? And release. So notice how that felt in your body. Now, either go to the other side of the chair or over to the other chair. And again, pointing my toes towards the corners of the chair, bending both knees, tucking that tailbone under, belly button tight, bend the elbow up, lift the same side leg up, point the toe down. Again, do you have to really hang on to that chair? Are you doing the little wobble dance here with your ankles? Notice what you notice. Notice what's going on with that hip musculature. Again, Golden Rooster, and release. Okay, now we're going to go to one chair, a yoga block, and a strap. Let me move this one chair out of the camera. Boop. Come back to the center. And let's sit down. So I would like for you to notice, how are you sitting down? Are you hanging onto your chair when you come down? Anyway, I'm just trying to increase your awareness of what's going on here. And I'm looking to see where my feet are in the camera. I need to bring this chair back a little bit. Okay, so y'all can see what's going on with the feet. That's a little bit better. Okay, so first off, let's take the yoga strap. We're going to do one of the bone building exercises right now. It's also good for back pain and, again, great for fall prevention. We're going to step on the yoga strap. It's called big toe hold when you look this up. It's one of the 12 yoga postures for easing osteopenia, osteoporosis. And I want you to show me the bottom of your foot. Now, I've got black shoes on, so there you go. What we're trying to do here with the yoga strap is pull that, so you're pulling it towards you, and then you're taking your foot and vigorously pushing it away. So in order to have a bone building benefit, BBB, you have to hold the posture between 30 seconds and 112 seconds. Is that correct? Yes, okay. I was thinking about the bone study I was in, so yeah. So you're not just hanging on here like being lackadaisical, okay? It's very vigorous. You're pulling and pushing into that strap. And you're sitting up tall. You may notice your back muscles being engaged, your biceps, your triceps, your forearms. Now, if this is too much for your grip strength, then what you can do is bring your hands up the strap a little bit and wrap your wrist and re-engage. So it's a different type of grip methodology to still hold the pose vigorously. Now, can I have this other leg kind of at the side here, just for kind of like a, not a counterbalance, but to feel a little bit more safer in the stance, I guess you call it. So if I was having it here more close, you know, I feel a little bit wiggly. So this, you know, a wider base helps for this posture. And that's it. Woo! Now we're going to take the leg out to the side, go at an angle. You may have to move your behind to make it feel comfortable on the chair, by the way. And then pull, push into that strap. Now a lot of folks turn their bodies out and over, but I try to have my body turned to the front of the room. And, ooh, I love it. Todd has a stretch out strap where you can thread your hands through the loops if you don't want to have that vigorous grip hold. So yeah, those are great for that. And again, I'm resting the back of the heel on the floor. Feels a little spicy. When we have spice in a yoga posture or any other kind of posture that we do in a movement class, I invite you to return your attention back to your breath. So what do I mean by that? Well, this is what I mean. So you're in the pose, you're going, I want to get out of the pose, but wait, first, let's breathe in, listen to the noise going in through the nostril tips, and then exhale, listen to the noise again. Sometimes that allows you to stay in the spicy posture, sometimes it doesn't work. Most times it does. But again, breathe in, listen to the breath, and exhaling. And you're going, oh my goodness, my hands, my forearms, my shoulders, yep, check, check, check. Yes, we've got it going on in this very simple but complicated yoga posture. And release, yay, favorite part of the pose. Now, we've released it, my hands feel kind of stuck, so let's clap the hands, do it again. Put some heat into those palms, get some circulation going back into those fingers. That's a good thing. Might be my favorite yoga posture, rubbing the hands. Is that a yoga posture? Yeah, who knows? Let's do the other side. I bet y'all thought I forgot, yeah? I almost did. So again, you know, kind of get your strap there at the ball of the foot as best you can, wherever it's comfortable, yeah? And it's more so straight forward than out to the side. And again, pull, woo, push into that strap. Does this one, I'm going to bring that leg out. Does this one feel a little different than the other one? Or is it the same? So y'all don't have to answer the questions. It's just like questions I present to you for enhanced body awareness, yeah? Again, is it getting easier to do the grip with the strap? Or do you want to switch it up a little bit? Do you want to bring it up the strap and wrap the strap around your wrist and then re-engage? Tall posture. This is easier to do more at the kind of the edge of the chair than it is with your behind way back there, because it hits your back of the leg kind of funny if you're more in the middle or the back of the chair. Not a pleasant feeling. But some folks are like, ooh, I feel like I'm going to tip forward, but you know, again, I kind of take that other leg out to the side for that, you know, better stance here. Are you pulling and pushing into your foot? Yes, no? Okay, Louise says yes. Okay, good. Woo! Don't forget that breath. Breathe in Breathe out. And one more. Very good. Now we're going to bring that out to the side. So bring it out to the side and pull, push. Maybe you need to bring it down a little bit. Sometimes that strap kind of shimmies up a little bit. You have to reposition it. Pull, push into that strap. So what does this have to do with fall prevention? Well, strong leg muscles, contracted musculature. So again, bone building. So when you contract those big muscle groups and you hold the posture for 30 seconds to a minute, 12 seconds, I don't think it was 112 seconds. I have to recheck that piece of data. That helps to build bones. So contracted muscles stimulate bone growth. So here we go. So we're doing that. That's a good thing, I hope. One of the things that we have a challenge with, though, is we don't have the flexibility in our big toe that we may have when we were younger. So we use 2 particular yoga postures to enhance that. That's coming up. A couple of more seconds here. Y'all thinking, when's this 30 seconds over? Soon. Y'all don't have to laugh. I just, laugh at myself. If you can laugh, maybe it's not funny, who knows. But it's good drugs for the brain, those endorphins, so laughing, whether it's a fake one or a real one, it's all good. It's all good. And yay, release. Woo! Let go of that strap. Oh my goodness, they're all kind of cramped up here. So clap the hands. Oh, do it again. And kind of like you're smashing marshmallows here, right? Or making cookies or meatballs. And then change it into make it a fire. Bring it into the fingers. I love it. Okay, now we're going to grab our yoga strap again. Y'all put it down, didn't you? We're going to thread it underneath. Now you can either do a shoelace tie with your yoga strap, or you can use the buckle, and I hope y'all know how to use the buckle on your strap. If not, do a shoelace tie. And some folks have the TheraBands. Oh, I got it all crooked. Make sure it's not crooked. Like I just did, okay? Look at the super, oh my gosh, long strap here. Okay, and then I'm going to open up the middle part to thread it in. I love these pieces of gear we have to make our yoga practice a little bit more effective. Now make sure that buckle's not on a body part, because that's not cool, okay? So here in the middle. Now, again, we're at the edge of our seat. Now, to take your fists in here, and it's about 2.5, maybe 3 fist distances apart. That's a hard phrase to say. And then what we're going to do is press firmly into the floor, and your booty may scoot back a little bit, but you're engaging the hip musculature, the quadriceps, the hamstrings, it's stuff around the knees, the calves, the bottoms of the feet. So it's a good stuff here. So kind of feel what you feel. Notice if one side feels a little more spicy than the other. So this class is kind of related to our back yoga class too, okay? And then release all that. Whew, let it settle down. Now we're going to take one of our feet. We're going to heel toe it in and have the side of the foot into the foot, if that makes sense. So I'm going to release up on my strap a little bit, have a little bit more length to it. Okay, so I'm trying to go for like a little bit more of an angle of the leg going out. I hope y'all can see that in the camera. Probably you can. So what we're doing here, the leg that did not do any movement, we're going to press firmly into that. Maybe you press your hand to encourage pressing into the floor. Other leg, we're pressing towards the ground. Now if you have a TheraBand, there's going to be a little bit of play going on here. You can also add more by taking your hand to the inside of the thigh and pressing it towards the floor. So this is similar to clam pose in Pilates, in some of our yoga classes. So again, we're kind of addressing different little angles here in that hip musculature. Pressing firmly into the floor with the other foot. And release. Woo! Now, bring it back to the center. We got to do the other side. So get the other one positioned nice and firm. And then heel toe the other one in. You're on that side of the foot. Again, press into the leg that's being stable, and then one that's at the angle, you can press towards the floor or press a little bit more with your hands. Don't forget to push into the floor. Oh my! You can also do this with just your hands, okay? You can resist. You can have your hand underneath and press into that hand, to where you're trying to like press it towards the floor, but the hand's pressing it towards you. So if you don't have the gear now, you can watch the video later once you get the gear. Woo! And release. Yay! Now, undo the strap, or release the strap from your leg. That sounds fancy. Release the strap from your leg. Oh my gosh, okay. Let's grab our yoga block. So we're going to take, or if you got a couch pillow or a stuffed toy, okay, that works too. If you have a medicine ball or something that you can squeeze in between the legs, we're going to try this at least. So you're going to heel toe in to where you feel a little inner thigh. Yeah, a ball works. I love it. You feel that little inner thigh contraction. Now with the ball and with the block, we're bringing it up a little bit, okay? Because we want to have a little bit of surface here. So again, we're pressing the feet into the floor. Ooh, feel that. And then we're squeezing the block. We're sitting up tall. Louise knows what's going to happen next. She's looking forward to it, I can tell. Here we go. We're going to play drums. Don't let the block or the ball move. Here we go. Woo! Press feet firm into the floor. And release. Bring that block out. Notice how your body feels. Now we're gonna try. Now with the ball, you have the ball, but with the block, we're gonna do the widest length. Okay, this is gonna be a little difficult. In between the legs again, so you gotta find a sweet spot where it's not digging into your skin and your legs. And again, I'm heel toeing in, pressing into the floor. Ooh, that's kind of spicy. We're gonna try it again. So squeeze, press into the floor. Let's do some vibrational energy. Here we go. Woo. Mine's moving. And release it. Very good, very good. From here, we're going to be doing the one where we stretch out the bottom of the foot. So it's called Warrior One or Crescent Lunge. And what we do, hopefully your chair allows you to do that, or you kind of have to go at an angle here. But you turn sideways on your chair, and you take a bun off the chair, and you bring that leg either right here in front of the center of the chair. And I'm kind of leaning forward, then I get everything aligned with the shoulder, with the hip, with the ears, and get myself comfortable. That's kind of like Mission Impossible, right? You press into this forward foot, and then here we go with the toe. This is, you're on that curly toe. Maybe you keep it here, maybe you scooch it back a little bit, kind of like a lunge, yeah? Again, this is a variation of crescent lunge or warrior one hip forward, one hip back. And what we do is we squeeze the bun that's hanging off the chair. So squeeze this leg closest to me, hang on to your chair. And then same side, whatever leg you step back, same side arm goes up for that back bend part. But you press vigorously into the forward foot, into the curly toe, squeeze the bun. If you want more, shift your bun forward a little bit. Woo! Don't forget to breathe. Press vigorously. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And release. Wow. Okay. Other side. We'll get to do that again in just a moment. So again, bun off the chair. That's the most comfortable part. Bring that leg in right in front of that chair. Maybe you scooch it back a little bit. Firm foot into the floor. Ooh, F, F, F. There we go. Another one. Squeeze bun. If you want to, shift bun forward. Press into that toe. Press into that heel. Arm up, up, up. Or arms, but I just do one. You should be feeling this posture somewhere, somehow. Heart rate might kick up because you have hands above the heart, and we are in a back bend. And release. Woo! All right. Let me put I want to see what my heart rate is, because we just kind of did something very vigorous there. So from here, shake the legs, stomp the feet. Again, shake the legs in, stomp the feet. Let's do slide. Let's do sumo stomps. So we're going to slide it out to the side and in. Again, further movement in that hip socket. Now there's a ball on the floor. We got to bring our foot up and over. And try to do this with your own strength. Notice what's going on here. Or if you want to increase your range of motion, fingertips underneath and kind of bring it high. Now your option is to stomp it on the floor. If you've got active osteoporosis bone fractures going on, you're going to do this a little bit softer, okay? 2 more. 2 and 1. Woo! Shake the legs. Stomp the feet. Let's do the other side. First we slide. We'll make little snow angel wings on our carpet. And then there's a soccer ball there. We got to bring that leg over the soccer ball. So this is one of these movements. You know that you have back pain. It's one of these where you get in and out of the car type of movements. Yeah, just notice what you notice. Add your vibrational energy if you so choose, if it's okay for you in your current circumstance. We pack the poses in on this yoga class, okay? So it's a very specific sequence. We kind of do the same things every time. We mix it up a little bit. 1 more. All right, so homework number 1 was the clamshell, where we brought the leg out and we're pressing it towards the floor with that yoga strap. So that's homework number 1. So we'll add some more homework here in just a bit. So I'm going to move my block, my strap out of the way, and get the second chair close by. So, you don't have to turn your chair sideways. I do that so you can visually see what's going on. I'm going to get the other one close. So let's stand. So this is one where this does not translate well seated on the chair. I mean, you can hang your leg off the chair and do some of this, but you're using the chair as a piece of gear right now. So this is our sequences for, more stuff with the legs to support better walking. So here we go. Toes, legs, body pointing at the back of the chair. And then you're going to pick your favorite leg or your second favorite leg, step it back a little ways. Now the other foot, I'm going to kind of walk it towards the back of the chair. Now sometimes what I see happening when people do this, they have one leg kind of like almost in alignment with the other leg. So there's some balance stuff here. So you may want to take the forward foot, just kind of heel toe it a little wider. So just know that's an alternate thing to do in this particular posture. So what we're going to do we're going to keep the heel down and bend the knee closest to the chair. Now we're also trying to keep the ear over the shoulder, shoulder over the hip. You may be feeling some stuff here, maybe not. And then you're pressing the back heel into the floor. Yes, it is a stretch. Then we take the same side arm up. Then you have the option of releasing the other hand or hand on the chair. So you kind of decide if there's wobbliness going on, if you want the safety of the chair or not. And then bring the arm down, take that back foot, step it forward, and we're going to do the other side. So step the other foot back, that nice little distance, and the other chair close to the back of the chair. So we got little, straight legs to begin with. We bend the knee closest to the chair, and you're kind of feeling it in the other leg, maybe, possibly. Press that back heel firm into the floor. Same side arm that raises up, that the leg that you stepped back. Option to release the chair or not with your other hand. Who better to teach a fall prevention yoga class than a wiggly person? How about that? Bring your hand down, step that back foot forward. Okay, so this is also a sequence for soothing the sciatica nerve, all right? Second part. Again, standing at the back of the chair, step your foot back that regular, amount, and then a little bit more and a little bit more. Woo, okay. Press that back heel firmly into the floor. You're kind of away from the chair here. Bend the knee towards the chair. Again, the objective is ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Don't lean forward, don't lean excessively back. Same side arm goes up, and then you press into that back heel. Feel the back side of your body. Maybe both arms can go up. Maybe you have the wall to hang on to, like I do. Because I'm kind of wiggly in this one. Arm comes down, take that back heel, hop, step it to the back of the chair. Other side, step the foot back, And you know what? Step it back some more and a little bit more. So now we got straight legs hanging onto the chair. Bend the knee closest to the back of the chair. Woo! Again, kind of make some little micro adjustments here. Shoulders are the hips, ear over the shoulders. Same side arm raises up of whatever leg you stepped back. Press into that back heel. Really press, press, press. I don't think I've cued that before. It makes a little subtle difference. You can feel it a little bit more in that little hip complex, yeah? Lower the arm, take that back leg, hop, walk it to the back of the chair. Okay, so the third set is a little different, all right? So again, we're standing back behind the chair, and we're going to step the leg back that original distance. So step that leg back that original distance. It's all cool and good, but you know, I'm going to hike up my yoga pant on this one. So we're going to take that back heel, roll up onto the ball of the foot, and then take your behind. You can touch your behind and tuck it under, okay? And then raise your arm up. So the other one, you can have a little bend in it, but you should be feeling this a little bit more right here. We're trying to unravel that sciatic nerve, get it kind of out of where it's being pinched today. Bring the hand down, step that foot forward, other side. So step it back that regular distance. And again, what you're going to do is lift the heel. You're on the ball of the foot. Take your behind, tuck and roll it under, so you're kind of like that little Michael Jackson move where you a little hip thrust there, yeah? And then arm up, same side leg that you step back. Release the hand on the chair if you so choose. Notice if there's any shaking going on, any perceived more work, I guess you'd call it. Woo! Bring the hand down, release the leg, and then from here, just kind of shake the legs out a little bit. Very good. Now, I'm going to take my chair that I just worked with and bring it to face y'all. You know what? I'm going to move this chair out of the way so it's not in the focus. Okay, very good. And now, again, we're targeting those various muscles in our body. So I'm standing behind my chair. So, Todd, you may want to turn your chair to the side because you're going to hit your table there. Yeah, turn it, yeah. Because what we're doing next is leg swinging, okay? Hands on top of the chair. Now decide, are your hands going to be together, a little bit apart, or more apart, depending on your stuff that's going on. So basically, out to the side and in. Ooh, hello. So I'm trying to bring it straight out and in. It's like Mission Impossible here. Oh my goodness. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Walk in between, just kind of heel lifts, walk in place, calf pumping. And then we're going to do the other side. Hands on the chair, feet together, and then out to the side and in. Here we go. Ooh. Notice if one feels a little different than the other. Notice if your grip is different on the chair. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, whoop, and 1. March in between. Okay, so this next sequence is we have the heel out, toe in. We bring it in and out, and we're bringing it across the body. So you might have to be a little bit more far away from the chair when you do that. So yeah, because I don't want to hit the chair with my foot. So I got my heel out, toe in. So bring it out and across. A little more complicated. A little bit more concentration. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Wow. March in between. So I had to switch from my metal chair to my kitchen chair because it was a little bit more tall for me because I'm super tall, okay? Other side again, heel out, toe in as we bring it out and across. Here we go. Takes me a couple of times to get it proper, yeah? Lots of control, as best you can. Ooh, I hit my foot. 3 more. 3, 2, woo, and 1. March in place. Last one, a little bit more complicated. We bring the leg out, toe out, and when we cross it, toe in. toe out, toe in. So we're really getting into that hip joint. Here we go. Woo! Toe out, toe in. Hello hip. Hello leg. Hello side muscles. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Using those huge muscle groups increases the heart rate. If you have a heart thing that you can kind of measure that, kind of notice that, yeah? Other side. So it's going to be toe across, toe out, toe in, toe out. So here we go. Toe out, toe in. Hang on to your chair. One side feels easier to do versus the other. This one's easier. I don't know why. But it's not coming up as high. 3 more. 3, 2, oh my, and 1. Whoops. I hit the floor with my foot, got kind of stuck there. March in place. All right, so you're all going, when are we going to use 2 chairs right now? Grab your other chair or your chair in your wall. So, let's see, do I have lots of good space there? Okay. I'll make sure they're even. All right, so a lot of us when we get older, now I'm observing this with my mother, she's always looking down. But she's already osteoporotic, kind of curving towards the floor. So this is to encourage proper walking gait. So you're going to bring a leg forward, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. You're hanging onto the chair or the wall, heel, ball, toe. Once you get to that stopping place, it's right there, look at your feet to see your feet position. Are they out to the side? Are they pointing in? Or are they pointing inward? Not that there's a wrong or right thing going on, but just observe what you're observing. All right, so I'm going to grab my hand back behind me, take the forward foot, toe ball heel, toe ball heel, toe ball heel. So you use a little bit different part of your brain when you walk backwards. You use a little bit more of your frontal cortex. So it's good for dementia and brain building. So whatever foot I have forward, I'm going to switch it. Because then I'm going to take the new furthest back leg and swing it forward. Heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. And again, I'm looking at my feet. I got one foot kind of turned in, one foot pointed straight. And then, there's my chair. Take the forward leg, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel. So this is one of your homeworks. Switch the feet. Heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. Forward leg, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel. Switch the feet. Okay, last time. Heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. Then take the forward leg, swing it back, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel, toe ball, heel. Okay, so we may have skipped a homework. I don't think we did the 3-point step, did we, Louise? We didn't. We're going to do the 3-point empty step next. So I'm going to bring my chairs to face forward. So this is a balance Qigong technique we use in this class and in the standing, well, we don't do it in a standing Tai Chi, but it is in Qigong. So we're pointed not as severely towards the back of the chair, kind of turned a little bit to the side. We're going to root down in both feet, so bend the knees. Now, the leg closest to the chair, that's the one that's going to do all the balancing. What we're going to do with the other one is bring it forward. You're resting empty weight on the back of the heel, so you have no weight bearing in this forward leg. It's all on this bent knee next to the chair. And bring it back to the ankle. Now, as if there was a pencil on the bottom of your heel, draw it straight out. Very good. Back to the ankle. Don't lift up. Stay low. And then point the toe back behind you at an angle. And back to the ankle. And then come out of that. A little movement side to side. So again, we're building our leg strength. Again, integral for fall prevention. Let's go back. This time we're going to do a little tuck. Okay, so we bend both knees. Roll that tailbone under. Okay. Root down in the leg closer to the chair. Bring a heel forward, toe up, heel down, back to the ankle. Out to the side, back to the ankle. Point the toe behind you, back to the ankle. Stay low, don't raise up. Again, heel down, toe up, back to the ankle, out to the side, back to the ankle, back behind you, back to the ankle. and come out of the pose. Heel toe, step touch. Go around to the other side of the chair or your other chair. Bend both knees. Let's go ahead and roll the tailbone under. So kind of root down in the leg closest to the chair, hand on the chair. Other leg goes forward. Heel up, toe down. Wait, heel up, toe up. Heel down, toe up. There we go. Back to the ankle, out to the side, back to the ankle. Point it back behind you. Ooh, squeeze that butt. Back to the ankle. And raise out of that a little bit. Little step touch here. And then let's go back. Okay. Bend both knees, root down, tuck that tailbone under. Root down in the leg closest to the chair. Other one is called an empty step. Heel down, toe up. I finally got it correct. Back to the ankle, out to the side, back to the ankle, back behind you, back to the ankle. Now don't raise up. Heel down, toe up, back to the ankle, out to the side, back to the ankle, back behind you, back to the ankle, and release. Step touch here. Okay, we did the forward and backwards walking, so now we're going to do sit to stand. So we have, if you have carpet, you can probably do this. Otherwise, you have a chair up against the wall and the other chair in front of you. But for demonstration purposes, because I do have carpet, I'm going to go ahead and sit down. In the breast cancer study that I was in, they did an assessment of how many sit to stands can you do in 30 seconds. So if you are a woman able to do this 10 to 12 times, then you had a 30% likelihood of falling. If you had lower numbers, your percentages went up. So the test is you cross your hands at your shoulders, walk those feet towards the back of the chair, and then stand up. And how difficult is that? It's difficult for a lot of folks. And sit back down. Now if you're not able to do this without bringing yourself up, then the training for this is hands on the chair to build up that strength. So you keep doing that. Again, the version that you can do practicing at home is a chair up against the wall and a chair in front of you. You're coming down, and your hands are not on the legs, and you help them push yourself up, okay? Just trying to do this unsupported. This is where our heart rate's going to go up, 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 up. Y'all keep doing that for a little bit. I'm going to come up to the front of the room. Very good. And then let's settle down into our chair. Notice the heart rate should be a little elevated by now. We're going to do, it's called the elongated breath. So I'll clap my hands 4 times. We'll breathe in for that count of 4. We'll pause, and then we'll slowly breathe out to a clapping of 5. Pause at the bottom, and then again, a big inhale breath, okay? So let's get started. Let's breathe in. Pausing, slowly exhale. Again, breathe in, belly big. Slowly, slowly exhale. Once again, breathe in, belly big. Slowly exhale. One more time. Here we go. Inhaling, breathe big. And slowly, slowly exhale. Good. From here, kind of settle back into your chair. Maybe you want to cross the feet. Maybe the hands rest on your lap. So this is our next part, our guided rest and relaxation part of class. And I invite you, maybe you can engage your eyes down at the floor or close the eyes, whatever's most comfortable for you. And I'm going to do what's called a non-sleep deep rest meditation. It's kind of like a yoga nidra that we have every night here on Veterans Yoga Project, but it's a very short body scan, okay? And we'll do a compare and contrast in this non-sleep deep rest. It's called NSDR, I think, yeah? So just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. Just what does it feel like here to breathe in? And what does it feel like here to breathe out? Just notice the places in the body that are moving as you inhale and as you exhale. Good. From here, I'm going to name some places in our bodies, like I'll say big thumb, or the thumb. And you'll bring all your attention to your thumb, all of your awareness to your thumb. You'll say thumb in your brain, but you're not actually like looking at it, okay? It's kind of like inside your brain. And I'm going to ask you to observe both thumbs at the same time. So we're going to start. We're going to start from the toes all the way to the tip of the head. So I invite you to get a little bit more comfortable, and all you have to do is listen to my voice, okay? All right, good. I invite you to notice your toes, both on that left and right hand side. Then your pinky toes, again, on that right and that left hand side of your body. Then let's shift our attention, our awareness to the top of the feet, the bottom of the feet, both at the same time. Shifting that awareness now to the shin, to the calves on that right and left hand side. Then notice your knee joints. Notice the front of the knees, the back of the knees. And let's shift that attention now to the upper legs, the front of the legs, the back of the legs, those quadriceps, those hamstrings, both on that left and right hand side of your body. Then ever so subtly shifting your attention to your hip joints. Notice your hip joints. Notice what you notice. And then let's notice our lower belly, our lower back, both at the same time. Then shifting your attention to your navel center, your mid-back. Good. And then from here, let's bring our awareness now to our heart center, to the bottom of our shoulder blades. And then to the back side of our shoulders, the front side of our shoulders, both at the same time. Good. From here, notice those upper arms, both the front and the back of the upper arms. And then notice the elbow joints. Moving on to our forearms, notice the inside and the outside of our lower arms. Shifting our awareness down to our thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, pinky fingers. From here, shifting your attention now to the base of your throat, the back of your neck, both at the same time. Then moving it up, noticing your jaw, your chin, the lower lip, the upper lip, the right nostril, the left nostril, the forehead. And then let's notice the crown of our head. As we're noticing the top of our head now, as we breathe in, let's visualize healing sunshine coming through the top of our head, saturating every cell in our body, giving us that healing feeling to our bones, our joints, our internal organs, all the layers of the skin. If there's an area that needs a little extra attention, bring that brightness, that healing sunshine to that area. And as we exhale, let's just let go of what no longer serves us today. Maybe if your feet are in contact with the floor, the toxins, the dark energy, just exiting out the bottoms of the feet. Wherever you're touching a surface that supports you, again, let what no longer serves you be released from your body. Whether it's emotions, whether it's pain, let it go. Now I invite you to come back into the now, back into the present moment. So maybe you lift the feet, move the feet a little bit, Maybe you do some little finger movements, some little wrist circles. And let's kind of shift away from the back of the chair. Here the knees are wide, hands on the legs, and let's do some wide upper body circles. Just kind of, we're getting into the upper body movement here, the pelvis, the back, the shoulders. And then let's reverse that. Let's go the other direction. Very good. You may feel your core activated here, somewhere on this little journey of this upper body circle or oval. And then let's come back to the center. We're away from the back of the chair a little bit. Let's go ahead and do a seated cat-cow. So I'm going to bring my knees in a little bit. My hands are on my shins, my knees. I'm going to curve my spine to the back of the room, just kind of really like feel the muscles peeling away from the spine. And then very slowly I'm coming out of that pelvic tilt to a nice tall posture. Might be a little spicy, just be aware of that. And then let's hinge forward for that cow or forward fold. And then come back up nice and tall to that seated place. Now what we're going to do is take both of our hands over to one side of the outside of the legs. Then we'll take that shoulder and kind of push it towards that opposite knee as we hinge forward, and we're kind of like pulling ourselves into like an upper body twist here. Now keep it away from pain though, okay? And then come back on up to the center. Take the hands over to the other side, to the outside, and again that shoulder is going to go towards that knee as you hinge forward, and then kind of twist towards that opposite knee, and then back to the center. From here, let's tap the sides of the hands. That's for lessening headaches, vertigo. That's part of what we do in chair Tai Chi, a little bit of this Qigong, acupressure, traditional Chinese medicine tapping. Then let's go into the webs of the fingers. That's for aiding digestion, easing nausea. So you're just tapping into that web. And then let's switch it. Because we normally have our hands in one position and then we switch it to kind of mess with our brain, yeah? Then we're going to do the interwebs of our fingers. So we're going to tap, tap, tap. That's for pain or numbness in the limbs. And you normally interlace your fingers a certain way. I mean, you just normally do, yeah? So kind of glue it here and wiggle the top finger and then switch the other finger to be on top. Woo! And go back to tapping. That may have messed your brain up. We're just creating new neural pathways when we do something on the other side, yeah? Very good. Next is the pulse points. That's for heart, cardiovascular issues. Now you can tap like this, or you can kind of go up and down at that pulse point. That's the heart meridian in traditional Chinese medicine. And then we get to do it a little bit more because we're going to flip it and do it some more. Very good. We've got all these trigger points, all these acupressure points in our bodies. Now we're going to cup our hand, kind of like when we swung our arm earlier and we did that spinal cord breathing. We're going to cup our hand and tap on top of the back of the hand. That's for osteoarthritis, back pain. Now if you have a ring, you're cupping it a little bit more, okay? Let's do the other side. Again, I've got a ring on this side, so I'm going to cup it a little bit more when I do the tap, tap, tap. Then we're going to move it to the back of the wrist. That's for neck, shoulder pain. So here we go, back of the wrist. Again, you may want to cup it a little bit if you have a ring, or turn it a little bit more towards the floor. Other side. Now I've got my watch here, so I'm not really on the back of the wrist, but I'm doing the best I can. And I think my favorite is the next one. You make a fist and you punch your palm. That's for noticing your strength, clarity, consciousness, a little stress reduction. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Very good. Clap the hands once again. A little bit of warmth, a little bit of heat here. Let's place those heated hands either stacked upon your heart or hands together here at your heart. And and just in gratitude of y'all showing up today, let's drop our chin towards our chest in gratitude of being here today. Let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or that maybe that idea of gratitude. Whatever you're grateful for today, whatever that idea is, kind of grab it, clasp it, and place it into that heart space. And I really admire your dedication, determination, and your discipline, and your responsibility for registering for classes, for showing up. You're doing something very beneficial for yourself. So thank you for coming and participating, or maybe even just watching if it's your first or second time. It's all good, yeah? And then I'm going to say our traditional sayings to end our class. You can keep your chin towards your chest, or you can have your head look forward, eyes open and closed. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the strength, the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste. Which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of chair yoga for fall prevention. Let me come up to the camera and stop the recording. Let me come over here.